Once upon a time, in a far distant African land beyond the river, the gods of wealth existed. It was said that men who journeyed to this land and sucked from the breast of wealth would become exceedingly rich. However, this incredible fortune came at a grave cost. Every man who sucked the breast lost his manhood. Despite this severe consequence, the allure of unimaginable wealth spread across the region, and many men embarked on the journey. In the small village of Jorkele, a hardworking man known as Flomo lived with his beautiful wife, Kebe. Flomo's diligence had earned him a respectable position in the community, but misfortune struck when he lost his job. Life became increasingly difficult, and their once happy home was now filled with struggles and despair. The weight of poverty pressed heavily upon them, and Flomo felt the burden of failing his beloved wife. Years passed, and their situation grew more desperate. Keba, always supportive, tried to remain hopeful, but Flomo saw the sadness in her eyes. One evening, as they sat under the stars, Flomo decided he could no longer watch his wife suffer. He had heard tales of the breast of wealth and the riches it bestowed. Desperate to change their fortunes, he resolved to embark on the perilous journey, unaware of the true cost. Flomo bid farewell to Kebe, promising to return with the means to give her the life she deserved. His journey was arduous, filled with treacherous terrain and daunting challenges, but Flomo's determination drove him forward. Finally, he reached the land beyond the river and found the breast of wealth. With a mixture of hope and trepidation, he took a suck, feeling a surge of power and prosperity wash over him. Flomo returned to the village a wealthy man, his once weary face now adorned with confidence and triumph. He showered Keba with gifts and luxuries, transforming their humble home into a mansion. However, Flomo harbored a dark secret. He could no longer fulfill his role as a husband in the most intimate sense. The price of his wealth was his manhood, and this truth tormented him. For years, Flomo and Keba lived in their grand home, but they never shared a bed. Flomo avoided any physical closeness, fearing that Keba would discover his secret. Keba, puzzled and hurt by her husband's distance, yearned for the intimacy they once shared. She longed to become a mother, to feel the joy of nurturing a child. One faithful day, Kebe could no longer contain her desire. She approached Flomo with a heavy heart, expressing her deep longing for a child. Flomo, cornered by the truth, finally confessed his secret to Keba. Shocked and heartbroken, Keba listened as Flomo explained the terrible price he had paid for their wealth. He then revealed his plan to fulfill her dream of motherhood. Flomo proposed that they pay their loyal Gateman Manjo to father their children. Desperate to have a family, Keba reluctantly agreed. Manjo, who had always admired Keba from afar, accepted the arrangement. The plan went smoothly, and Keba soon gave birth to a beautiful son, and later, a daughter. Flomo showered Manjo with riches and eventually settled him elsewhere, hoping to keep the secret contained. Years passed and Flomo's wealth grew, but so did his sense of unease. One day, Manjo returned to the village seeking to reclaim what he believed was rightfully his. He approached Flomo, demanding to see his children and take back the wealth he had helped create. Flomo, enraged and fearful, attempted to chase Manjo away, insisting that he had no claim over the family he had built. A confrontation ensued, drawing the attention of the villagers. In a shocking turn of events, Keba emerged, her face filled with resolve and sorrow. She confessed to Flomo that she had fallen in love with Manjo. The years of distance and secrecy had driven her into Manjo's arms, and they had been seeing each other in secret. Keba declared that she was leaving Flomo to marry Manjo and start a new life. Flomo, devastated by the revelation, watched as Keba and Manjo gathered their children and left. His wealth, which had once brought him pride and power, now felt like a heavy shackle. The village, once filled with admiration for Flomo, now looked upon him with pity and sorrow. He had gained riches beyond measure, but lost the true treasures of life: love, trust, and family. As the dust settled, Flomo realized the true cost of his wealth. He understood that in his pursuit of fortune, he had sacrificed the very essence of his humanity. The gods of wealth had given him riches, but they had taken away the one thing that mattered most. Flomo lived out his days in solitude, a wealthy man haunted by the emptiness of his choices.